You're watching the Live Well, brought to you by Rapala.
Hey, welcome to the Live Well presented by Rapala. Big, important Live Well here with Ronnie Moore and Tommy Sanders because this is it, the World Championship. The Academy Sports and Outdoors Bassmaster Classic presented by Toyota, and back after a 4-year absence to the city of Knoxville. Ronnie, that is right in the middle of bass fishing country. A great place to have a classic.
It is. We knew East Tennessee has a rich fishing history, but boy, did they show up in the 2019 Classic there. The crowds, record-setting at the time. Now Knoxville's there to try to reclaim their throne at the highest attended Classic ever.
Yeah.
But out on the water, Tommy, it should be a fun event. A little later in March than we see most Classics. I think last Classic we had in Hartwell was first week of March. This is going to be the last week of March, roughly. And I think that makes a little bit better fishing, and the odds of a higher weight tournament, more drama, I think that those are prevalent late March on the Tennessee River.
All right, 8 reservoirs on that Tennessee River. All of them have a big part in bass fishing history, but this is very, very top. The Holston River and, of course, the French Broad River coming together. They're able to go up those rivers a little bit as well as part of our playing field.
Yeah, there's a little bit north of the Volunteer Landing there, the takeoff in Knoxville.
Yeah.
You know, you go up and there's a couple bridges, and then it's kind of, I mean, you got to have a special type of boat to get up above beyond there at some point. But yeah, they do. It's interesting. Tellico at the bottom of the lake flows from the mountains of North Carolina and East Tennessee, farther east where we are, and it flows into the Tennessee River. And then Fort Loudoun is formed from Cherokee and Douglas. Those two lakes funnel out, create the Tennessee River, and then we obviously know all the lakes that ensue: Watts Bar, Chickamauga, and all the lakes down in Alabama and up on the western side of Tennessee. But this place is going to be dynamic, I think, because we saw signs of the opportunities last time. We saw some guys like Mike Iaconelli in the backs of some creeks cranking on a specific spot, catching them cast after cast. We saw Chris Zaldane fishing around some docks on the main drag with a big swim bait. Things were working there for him. Then we mix in a little bit of what happened in 2021 for the Elite Series event with Jeff Gustafson right there where the two lakes connect. Smallmouth winning that event. We saw Steve Kennedy with big largemouth. There's just, the opportunities are endless, and I think that the bait selection will be endless as well.
Back in 2019, the top 5 were all fishing a crankbait on that final day. What do you think is going to happen this time around?
Yeah, we saw lipless crankbaits play, especially with that 6-pounder on day 1 from Ott Defo. We saw big swim baits play from Chris Zaldane. Meanwhile, we've got some of those East Tennessee guys, or Tennessee guys in general, like Brandon Lester. They were kind of cranking. They were throwing a bladed jig as well. You'll see some guys throwing a drop shot, probably some of those techniques. But I honestly think if you just lock a square bill in your hand, you know, a square bill will be a great water cover. You'll be able to see fish coming to you and fish probably leaving the pockets. You'll be able to catch them on that. I think a bladed jig will be huge. We saw a little bit of that marina unlock pattern, you know, on the final day of the Classic in 2019. We could see some anglers kind of make that a game plan. Marinas are great areas for fish going in of places and out of places. They're going to live there for most of the year at times, so I think marinas could be good places. So you could see some of those things like swim baits, chatterbaits work there as well. There's honestly, this kind of feels like a Gerald Swindle Classic to me.
Okay.
This feels like a Gerald Swindle Classic because of how many rods you could have on the front deck that could factor every single day.
Well, that win in 2019 was wheeled around a single day, a 20-pound first day. Followed up by a 10-pound first day, which brings us to another aspect of the Classic. Just about everybody has to have one bad day. Is that going to be the case again?
Yeah, it seems like, especially last time we were here, so much weather changes, water conditions, that changed. I mean, it was in the parking lot in 2019 in Knoxville. People were wondering if the water was too high to host a Classic there. Were we going to have to delay it or adjust it? They pulled the water down, and it ended up being below full pool by the time final day came around. So these anglers had to deal with a lot. I'd expect a little bit of a slip up here and there, but honestly, with the weather the way it is, cold, moving into a warming trend, late March, I feel like the ability to be more consistent is there. I think that you know, those low days, it might not be 10 pounds. It could be 14 pounds. It could be 15 pounds. I think the 20-pound high days are still going to be possible as well. And I'll even say, we're going to maybe see an old school bait come back. And I say old school meaning a big spinner bait. I didn't mention it before. I think a big spinner bait, if that water's a little dirty on the main drag, a little bit of current flow, I think we could really see something like that play.
The stakes are high. The pressure is on. It's going to be exciting. It always is. Full coverage right here on Bassmaster.com. Also FS1 and Tubi, the 24th, 25th, and 26th of March. The Classic, the Academy Sports and Outdoors Bassmaster Classic, sponsored by Toyota. Thank you for watching the Live Well presented by Rapala.